Hey, before you waste a lot of time and money researching your dream destination, have you researched the most important piece of this moving abroad puzzle?
Now look, surely you did this one thing before you selected your apartment with an ocean view or picked out your new Shein outfits. You did verify if you qualify, right?
That's right. You can't just post up in someone's country without their permission. That would make you an illegal immigrant. You don't want to be that, especially if you have the resource to do it the legal way. If you haven't completed this important step in your moving abroad journey, don't worry. We're going to share a quick and easy 3-step process that will help you identify if you qualify to live in your dream destination. This process will also help you get prepared for the most important step of the journey, which we're going to share with you in a moment.
Yeah, without completing this important step, you won't be able to finish your residency backup plan, which could put your relocation plans on hold. But while we do all of this and getting moved into our new apartment in Mexico, join us. We're going to show you how to follow your freedom the right way. Over the last few years, we've traveled the world leading group trips to amazing places like Dubai, Greece, South Africa, the Maldives, and Egypt. And you know, all of that got us interested in the idea of living abroad. So after a lot of thought and very careful consideration, we sold everything and moved to Mexico to follow our freedom. So we're sharing our journey as new expats, and we'd love for you to join us. If you're curious about living in another country or just love new travel experiences, this is the channel for you.
In our last episode, we covered how to identify your dream destination, aka your freedom zone, and how to research residency requirements there. In this episode, we're going to go over step 2 of the residency backup plan, verify if you qualify. This step will let you know if you'll be permitted to reside where you can thrive. Throughout our journey and conversations with others about moving abroad, we've heard some real horror stories. People spending countless hours planning for their move and even purchasing property before even checking to see if they met the immigration requirements. Yikes. They do all of this hard work only to hit a brick wall when they find out they simply don't qualify. It can be a real punch to the gut when a country essentially tells you, thanks but no thanks. And while our American passport is powerful for travel,
For now,
it doesn't give us a free pass to live anywhere we please. It's so important to remember that when we move abroad, we are guests in someone else's land. Being granted the privilege of residency as a foreigner is something we should respect and treat responsibly. So to avoid wasting dozens of hours and potentially thousands of dollars on researching and getting excited about a new country to live in, only to be let down, make sure you research what will be permitted and if you qualify to become a resident in that country. So, to avoid wasting time and money, make sure you research if the country that you dream of living in will allow you to live there as a resident, because otherwise you'll just be a tourist, and there's a big difference between touring and residing.
speaking of differences, that's a perfect segue into part 1 of this 3-step process, which is identifying your move abroad profile. Now, you've finally built up the courage to leave everything behind and move abroad, but have you identified what type of expat you'd like to be? Because you do have options. Let's talk about the first one. The first type is what we call residents and retirees. I want you to think long-term settlers. This type of expat is looking for a more permanent or long-term stay in a specific country that's granted them legal permission to stay. Now, they typically pursue residency visas based on economic solvency, retirement, income, real estate investment, or just other criteria. Tristan and I fall into this category. Now, the second type of expat is what we call slow travelers. These freedom riders like to country hop, often staying in one destination for a few months at a time, maximizing tourist visas or short-term stay options. Think digital nomads who don't necessarily settle anywhere long-term. And then the third type of expat, it's called a digital nomad. And I want you to think remote workers. These type of expats work remotely and leverage their location independence to live in different countries for extended periods of time, typically working online to earn income while utilizing digital nomad visas offered by some countries. Let us know in the comments below, which type of expat are you seeking to become? A resident, retiree, slow traveler, or digital nomad?
So now that you've identified what type of expat you'd like to be, now it's time to see if the country you selected has a permission slip that will allow you to travel the way you intend to. Now you're probably saying to yourself, I'm grown, I don't need a permission slip. Well, in this case, you do. We get it though. Most people aren't familiar with the immigration process of a foreign country. I mean, why would you be? You probably have never tried to immigrate to another country before, right? Now, most people we've spoken to about moving to Mexico were shocked by the concept of having to qualify to live in another country. If you plan on living in a foreign country, this makes you an immigrant, which means you have to go through their legal immigration process. Commonly, this consists of applying for residency, which essentially is a document or a physical card that grants you the right to live in a foreign country for an extended period of time, potentially leading to permanent residency or even citizenship. The most common types of visas applied for are economic solvency visas. Several countries, including Portugal and Mexico, offer residency to individuals who can demonstrate sufficient income or savings to support themselves without working locally. Next, you have golden visas or an investment visa. Countries like Greece, Portugal, and Spain have these type of programs that grant residency to individuals who make a significant investment in real estate or other assets. The next type of visa is called a digital nomad visa. More and more countries are introducing specific visas for remote workers who earn their income from outside that country. And last, we have ancestry visas. Some countries offer visas to individuals who can prove heritage from that nation. If you have family roots, this could be a significant advantage and help you to avoid having to make a large financial investment or prove you have funds to qualify. Now, pull out that family tree and start making some calls about those people you've been seeing around the family reunion you're not quite familiar with.
So, it's now time for you to visit the immigration website for your new country and review their visa requirements. Once you've reviewed them and ensured that you meet their qualifications, then it's time to gather all the required documentation they requested and wait for the next and most important step on the residency backup plan. Apply for your permission slip, which we'll be covering more in the next episode. But before you complete the application, we highly encourage you to consider hiring an immigration advisor to help you with the next step of this process. Yes, sure, you can go through the complete immigration application process by yourself for free, but I would not recommend it. If that's what you do prefer, then more power to you. But just know that there are a lot of things that can go wrong with the immigration process. Look, not only are you new to this, but chances are there are rules and nuances you may not be familiar with. And having someone whose job is solely dedicated to helping you successfully and legally navigate the immigration process will save you a lot of time and help you avoid costly mistakes during a process where you have a lot going on and don't really want to drop the ball. So hiring a vetted immigration specialist is how we were able to successfully get our Mexican residency in less than 90 days, all while hosting a group trip in South Africa. Yep. Our advisor handled all of the appointment setting, getting our paperwork in order. So all we had to do for our immigration process was just show up with the required documents, make the payment, and everything else was smooth sailing. Oh, and did I mention that the Mexican residency process is a two-part process? The first part is completed in the States, but the second part has to be completed in Mexico. I am so glad we hired an advisor because the paperwork in Mexico is written in Spanish and the staff only speaks Spanish. So unless tú hablas español, I wouldn't advise you to do this process alone. A very big gracias to our team for making it a quick, easy, and fun process. Consider them to be your personal tour guide on this immigration journey. They tell you where the pitfalls are, how to avoid them, and they ensure you are set up for success. Their number one priority is getting you approved for your permission slip. When you hire the right one, they truly are worth the investment. So if you'd like more information about our immigration advisor, click the link in the description to schedule a consultation call with us. You'll be glad you did.
So that completes the second step of the residency backup plan. Verify if you qualify. Look, before you spend countless hours researching a destination and getting excited about the possibilities of moving there, make sure you qualify. If you know you already meet the qualifications of your dream destination, then put qualified in the comments below. If you're not sure if you qualify, type "let me find out" in the comments. We got you, friend. And hey, if for some reason you find that you don't qualify, all hope isn't lost. There are over 190 countries on this planet. Adapt, adjust, and select a new freedom zone. There's a place out there ready to help you reside where you thrive. And we look forward to seeing you make it there.
Listen, friend, if you've been going through this process alone and feeling overwhelmed and just need a safe place to talk, consider scheduling a consultation call with us. We've been in your position. There's so much information out there and misinformation. And between family and friends trying to convince you not to leave, you're probably looking for someone who just understands where you're at mentally and can talk to you through the process. As recent expatriates, we can totally relate. If you want someone to talk to about moving abroad, then click the link in the description to learn about how we can help you follow your freedom. Now, in our next episode, we're going to cover step 3 of your residency backup plan, obtaining your permission slip. This is the fun part. So, you definitely want to be sure that you tune in for this one.
If you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insight on international living and freedom seeking. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Follow peace.
Follow your freedom.
Do you feel trapped by the endless hustle, secretly wishing you could trade that constant anxiety for genuine peace?
Are you fed up with watching your savings disappear as daily costs just keep spiraling out of control? Hi, we're Tristan and CC, and not too long ago, we were exactly where you might be right now. We felt caught in a never-ending cycle of hustle culture and rising cost of living. We knew there had to be something more, something better.
Absolutely. So we made a big decision. We took the biggest leap of our lives, sold everything, and immigrated to Mexico. And not just for a change of scenery, but for a dramatically better quality of life. More joy, more peace, more living.
But here's the thing, trying to figure out how to move abroad feels like swimming through mud, right? You're bombarded with conflicting YouTube videos, frustrating dead-end Facebook groups, and confusing government websites that leave you with more questions than answers. But hey, it's not your fault.
It's really not. The moving abroad process can be overwhelming to say the least, and it can keep you stuck in analysis paralysis. Well, we've solved your problem. We developed a proven step-by-step roadmap that allowed us to become legal residents in Mexico in less than 6 months. No more guesswork, no more overwhelm, just a simple, stress-free plan that you can start executing.
It's time to stop dreaming about freedom and start taking action. To help you get a solid jumpstart on your move abroad, we're hosting a special free info session to share this exact roadmap with you. This isn't just theory, it's the actionable, real-world strategy you need to finally follow your freedom.
In this high-level, step-by-step info session, you'll learn how to identify your perfect freedom zone where your money stretches further and your soul truly thrives. How to bypass the nightmare of confusing immigration paperwork. The steps to navigating foreign healthcare with total confidence, and how to master all the logistics of your move, avoiding the costly mistakes 99% of people make.
This is not another boring webinar where you'll forget all the information by tomorrow. This is your personal action plan to finally stop dreaming and start living. It's designed to give you the absolute clarity and confidence you need to escape the rat race and finally reside where you can truly thrive.
Absolutely. Now you know what it feels like to stay stuck. Now are you ready to finally break free and start your roadmap to liberation?
Seats for this live training are limited and they're filling up fast because of the critical information that we're going to be sharing. Do not let this opportunity slip away.
Click the link below right now to claim your free spot before they're all gone. Follow peace.
Follow your freedom.